I went from this to this in 6 years. I'm here to tell you about how arm wrestling changed my body and how it can change yours too. Over the past 6 years, I have competed in more than 30 different arm wrestling tournaments where I've won some matches, lost others, and have had the opportunity to arm wrestle with legends like Todd Hutchings, Ron Bath, and John Brzenk. Growing up, I'd always been into sports, competing in events such as the triathlon and swim. And while I saw some success in those events, I never felt like I was chasing a goal which I truly wanted, because while I was very cardiovascularly fit, I was the smallest person in my friend group and amongst most kids my age. At 16 years old, I stood at 5'7" and weighed 100 pounds, which amounted to a 15.7 BMI with no muscle mass. Something had to change. While I had been into weightlifting on and off for a while, mainly some 10-pound dumbbells at home, during 2017, I committed to a gym near my area and started working out. At first, I would just go in and do some bicep curls and tricep pushdowns and leave, but after watching some workout videos on YouTube, I incorporated basic exercises like the bench press, shoulder press, and squat. While at first my workouts lacked structure and progression, I found some workout plans on YouTube which made me stick to a rigid plan, and I saw progress in my physique. While this may not be much progress for most, I saw my shoulders starting to take shape, and I could see some muscle develop in my upper arms where there had previously been none. Around 6 months after I started consistently working out, I stumbled upon an arm wrestler which I'm sure some of you watching may have heard of, Devon Larratt. Devon is one of the greatest and most famous arm wrestlers of all time, and after watching some of his matches and YouTube videos, I was hooked. While I was still living in Dubai and training for triathlons, my passion for arm wrestling was building. I began training for arm wrestling on top of my normal gym workouts by doing hours of bicep static holds, wrist curls, and other exercises. Initially, the tendon pain in my arms from this new training got so terrible that I had to stop swimming as the toothache pain in my arms became unbearable. But I kept pushing. In 2019, after moving to Atlanta, Georgia from Dubai, I found an arm wrestling club in Georgia and went to my first ever table practice session, where I met the legend Ron Bath and other very strong arm wrestlers in Georgia. After the practice session, I realized that I was a lot weaker than I thought I was, and I had to get to work. As soon as I got home, my parents gifted me an arm wrestling table, cable system, and some workout equipment I could use to train. And let's just say, I went crazy with my workouts. Every free minute or hour I had, I was in the gym doing forearm and arm exercises. The first notable change in my physique was that my wrist started to grow significantly as I had to punch new holes in my watch for it to fit. The arm wrestling bug bit me, and I was hooked more than ever. Everything seemed to be going well. I went to a few more practice sessions and kept working out using my new gym equipment for hours every day. I even scheduled in and trained hard for my first ever arm wrestling tournament, which I expected to do very well in, if not win, the Georgia State Championships. On May 11th, 2019, the day of the tournament finally arrived, and I was beyond nervous. I wanted to win really bad, but could tell I would be in for a long day. Soon, my name was called up to the table for my first match. I was ready to give it my all. Not as expected. How about match 2? I walked away with 2 losses and 0 wins in the amateur division. While this gave me a reality check on my current level, it also lit a fire in me to train harder than I've ever trained before to achieve something in this sport. Safe to say there was 0 downtime for me. I got home, analyzed my losses, created a new training plan, scheduled in new tournament dates, and got to work. While my second tournament didn't go as planned, I kept putting in hours each day training for arm wrestling. At this point, I was eating a ton too, and saw the number on the scale go up to 110 pounds. This was my third tournament, and at this point, I wasn't expecting much given my previous results. Until the unthinkable happened. I won my first match. The fire in me grew brighter, and I wanted the feeling of victory again. While those clips make it seem like my progress was exponential, don't be fooled, the reality is far from that. What I didn't show you were the countless losses, injuries, and setbacks throughout my journey to achieve something in arm wrestling and my physique. And yes, I am better than when I started, but have I achieved my goals? Not even close. I'm still putting in hours each day to get closer to becoming world champion, and let's just say, I'm just getting started.